You would think.
Yeah, you know.
But I think also with the health piece, you know, how many women are really doing their checkups like they need to do also?
Well,
to some degree.
Yeah,
so I
that's
think
true.
sometimes that's a family thing. And then
Right.
also right now with health insurance and the overall cost, because I could tell you just cleaning out some of my old insurance forms and things like that from other past jobs and things like that, you know, where the insurance itself was, a lot of it was paid for. You only had the $20 copay or whatever else.
Yeah,
But now that
exactly.
you have so much more money coming out of your paycheck, paying for the insurance now, and then your copays it still may be $20 up until a certain amount of money, you know, a certain amount of deductible and things like, you know, so a lot of things insurance wise have changed, you know. So now and I used to work in insurance, so I kind of understand that. So now I see where people their attendance for their doctor's appointments and things like that starts to decrease because it's too much. There's a whole lot of money that's coming out. And then the other part of that too is that because you get so caught up in whatever else you got going on that's stress related, sometimes you might say to yourself, you know what? I had this headache because I'm stressed out today. I had this crazy meeting today and people got on my nerves and I have a headache, not realizing that, hey, dummy, you didn't eat.
Right.
You know,
right.
Hey, you know, your sugar is low.
Yeah.
You know, things like that. So I think that also contributes to the health.
Yeah.
You know, so we're putting it on other people, places, and things, and not considering like we're not really treating our temple right.
Right. So we're not taking responsibility for us.
Right.
Right.
So as you take a look at just, you know, as we're talking about eating right, have I changed up mine a little bit? Yeah, I have recently. So instead of me eating a Burger King hamburger, you know, or
you
Wendy's,
eat a McDonald's hamburger, huh?
No. I've been trying to do like a flare fish or a salad or something along those lines. I've been truly trying to put a whole nother spin on what I'm doing for lunch.
Yeah.
And because they complain so much about these bags of salads, you know, with salmonella and everything else, you know, so it's almost like, what do? You know, I'm not going to buy a whole head of lettuce because I'm not going to eat up the whole head of lettuce within a week or so.
Yeah,
the next thing I know it's going to be wilted.
Right.
You know,
so now you're wasting your money.
Right. You know, so I think we have to be cautious and conscious of what we're really doing.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
And then part of that, we don't realize in eating healthy, as I read an article the other day about foods that have a whole lot of pesticides in it.
Yeah.
You know, which also contributes to our crazy health. And whatever else we're eating, all these extra dyes and this and that or whatever else also contributes to that. So even though you think you might be eating healthy, do you really realize what else is affecting that particular thing?
So I was going to say that sometimes you see that they tell you, yo, this is good for you. And then 2 years later, they're like, yo, the same thing that we said was good for you is no longer good for you now.
Right.
And they're like, yo, what happened? But my grandmother, she was in her 90s when she passed away. My grandmother ate pork. She still was, you know, she ate what she wanted to eat.
Yeah.
You know, nowadays you got to really be careful about what you eat, what you take in. Now, the downside of that is if you financially don't have the money to be healthy, you can't be healthy.
Right.
You know, because being healthy is expensive.
Right. It is.
Know? So I can see why a lot of men and women don't go to the doctors or don't eat right because they don't have the money to do it. You know, but if you have any type of insurance, whether it be insurance from your personal job, your spouse's insurance, your insurance from the government or whatever, utilize that. Utilize it to the best of your ability because if you want to live, you know, you got to check yourself out. You got to make sure things are working.
And even as you're taking a look at that and understand that each part of your body affects the next.
Right. Right.
You know, like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna worry about my, physical outward appearance, not realizing that how much your mouth affects the rest of your body too.
Exactly.
So you can't just concentrate on one area. You got to concentrate on all the above.
Yeah.
You know, and be honest, my wife gets on me all the time. She's been looking at this stupid show called Toe Bro.
I think I heard of that. Yeah.
Yo. And she keeps, because unfortunately on one of my toes, my big toe, I have this ingrown toenail. It doesn't look nasty. It just, just as it grows, it hurts.
Oh, okay.
And she keeps telling me, yo, go to the doctor. I'm like, no, I don't need to. I'm just going to sit here and pick it out, But what I'm getting at is I don't know if it's really affecting anything else.
Right, so you need to go get it checked out. So I'm going to tell you something. What you need to do is go to one of those Asian foot massage ladies. When you get there and you take your socks off and you put your feet up for her to start trimming your nails, if she starts speaking rapidly, something's wrong with your foot.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, as soon as you said that, it made me think about Martin when they took the Dremel and he was sanding down the toes on Shanae. Yeah, that's what when Shanae was doing that. Yeah, it made me think about that because of because she kind of likens my toes to that, but I'm like, it's not even like that.
Oh,
she's just joking.
Toes?
No, I nowhere near that. She just be joking.
That's what you say. I'm going to ask your wife about this.
Guess what? I'm going to put my toes on Instagram.
Don't do that because you might get an intervention. People might start just writing in, talking about send them to the doctor.
Right, I'm going to put it on.
Do all this stuff. You might start getting
Instagram.
invitations to come to all type of, what do they call? Podiatrists.
Yo, I'm going to put it right on Instagram, and then that way everybody can tell me how beautiful my little toesies are.
And you know what? The funniest thing would probably be is this. Your feet probably don't look as bad as the next person's.
Oh, heck no.
And I'm sure somebody's foot probably look worse. Oh, not worse, but more worse than yours.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure. Especially if you take a look at that movie like Boomerang, people pulling up those sheets and then realize that they cutting up sheets and towels and stuff. No, my feet ain't nowhere near that.
But do you see people how if you neglect to do things, if you neglect to go see your doctor, if you neglect your health, this is what happens. You walk around with hammer toes.
Right. Yuck mouth.
Yes.
You know how you walk
got
around.
all that insurance, you got 2 teeth in you.
Right.
Come on.
Why are you gummy?
Yeah.
You gumming everything. Why are you eating baby food and you're 185, so no, make sure that you keep everything, as close to healthy as possible.
Right.
Whatever that means.
Right.
So, again, if that means adjusting your diet.
Yes.
Well, I'm not saying go out on a full-blown diet and eat like a rabbit or
just eat
a kangaroo or something.
Eat in moderation.
Right,
right. You can still enjoy the things that you like. Just don't overdo it.
Right.
Because you don't want to end up with any type of diabetes, liver disease, heart disease, high blood pressure. These are things that we don't talk about in our communities. Or we do talk about them and the men just ignore them.
Now, one of the things I would like to point out that one of the reasons why I'm always on the fence, me personally, I'm on the fence of whether or not to be a vegetarian or a carnivore or whatever else, is because I had a family member who was a straight vegetarian.
Right.
They have not eaten meat, in the last 35, 40 years pretty much. But they ended up dying anyway at a young age.
Ain't that something?
So to me, when I see stuff like that, you're like, well, it really doesn't matter what I eat, huh? I guess it's my environment. I guess it's, so those type of things that I rationalize myself. That doesn't make me right. I just rationalize it.
Right. But I mean, sometimes that's just like the guy. You ever heard of Jim Fix? Jim Fix was a average, not elderly, but he was an older gentleman that liked to jog.
Okay.
He jogged every day, and he made millions and millions of dollars off it. His commercials and stuff like that, his exercise equipment and stuff. And he died of a heart attack while jogging. So it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
But these are the things that we need to do because of, I think he was like 52 or something like that.
Yeah, he was. He was.
And
that's crazy.
And he died jogging. This is something that he loved to do. He was an avid runner. He exercised every day. So just because you just exercise and you run or you do these things, what was he eating? What was his intake like? What was he doing to his heart?
Right.
So it ain't just, that's why all that stuff goes together. You work out, you have that's why you have to have a balanced meal, and all that goes together. The working out, the eating of the meal, getting the rest, letting your body regenerate. When you tear down muscles, you got to let them build back up and heal.
Yeah.
So you could be in some type of shape and still be sick.
Yeah. So as I'm reading the information about Jim Fix, I didn't know him. So thank you for giving me the information.
You're welcome.
But I see that someone had mentioned that he might have been an out of control diabetic.
You feel me? So that had a lot to do with what he's been eating.
Right. So and it talks about his liver and what caused his high insulin levels when he died, because he died of a heart attack.
Right.
So what was truly his issue?
Right.
So it's not always just about, hey, I'm going to exercise every day.
Yeah.
It's a total change, a total outlook on life, whether it's from eating to exercise to even people that you love.
Right. Exactly.
Because that also affects your health,
mm-hmm.
To the point where you work.
Right.
Is your job stressful?
Yeah, right.
Are you going to work stressed every day?
Right.
Do you, and people say, hey, I'm going to go here, I'm going to go and do this 8 hours, I'm come home. Well, sometimes just even with that, that little mindset throws you off too.
Definitely.
That could be stressful too.
Yes.
So, we want y'all out there to make sure you take care of yourselves.
That's right. And visit the doctor.
Right.
Go get your checkups, get your yearly checkups. The physicals are not bad. The whole thing is about prevention. You want to catch something just in case.
Right.
You want to make sure just in case. You never know. That was the whole thing about with my father and the colon cancer. So with him catching it late, if he had caught it earlier, they could have did something different.
Yeah.
So that's the whole thing. You want to make sure that, you want to make sure that your heart is strong. You want to make sure that your liver is working good.
Yeah.
Your pancreas, you want to make sure that your lungs and your respiratory system is good. So it's men,
right.
Men and women,
right.
But men in particularly, listen to your wives, listen to your girlfriends, go to them doctor's appointments. It's not going to take long, a couple hours tops. And just make sure. And I know a lot of guys probably figure I'm going to go here and something's going to happen. But it's a good thing if you do go and you can catch it. Because now you know how to work with it and work on it and get rid of it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, we love y'all.
Yeah.
And we want y'all to continue to support us.
Yes. Keep following us on all platforms. Listen to us on all platforms. And follow us on all social medias. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram.
Neighbors Podcast.
And that's NAYBOR.
S.
Neighbors. S. Yeah. Forgot the
Neighbors
S.
Podcast.
I don't know why I always forget the S.
Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Yo, we love y'all.
Yep.
Tune in next week.
Have a blessed week, y'all.
And this weekend, when this weekend comes up, please eat right.
Yeah, eat right.
Keep us in mind.
And you know what? While you eating right, take a picture or a little video and rep your neighborhood on Friday.
Right. So, whatever that healthy meal is, please share it.
Yes.
Also, if you want to give us the recipe for it, you can do that too.
Yes, you can.
Maybe we will partake of it ourselves. Maybe we might make it ourselves. Maybe we'll post it on Instagram ourselves.
Right.
So let's think about that.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, let's think about that for a minute.
And stay healthy, y'all.
Right. So, but we love y'all.
Yep.
And enjoy y'all week. We talk to y'all.
Peace.
Peace.
We just trying to pull all our friends up. You are the reason they came. You are the agent and we look for change. You conquered the pressure and you did not fall, but you are a diamond and worth more than gold.